start off by saying, when I think about Octo, I think about innovation, because Octo was at the very front of innovation in the insurance industry. 15 years ago, you guys launched on the notion of telematics and technology could transform and impact insurance and make people's lives better. And I'm just super interested to understand how the history, what your approach was, what the process was to become what is now the leading telematics company in the world.
Yes, sure. I mean, I appreciate you remember the 15 years. We started 15 years ago in 2002 in Italy. And our mission since the beginning was to transforming the insurance industry. And how we wanted to do that. We wanted to do that with totally new type of data, all new type of information, new type of insight to help insurance providing a better service to their policyholder and at the same time reducing their costs. We started in Europe as in 2002. Actually, it was in the same year when Progressive, one of the innovative insurance company, launched the Snapshot in US.
Right.
The way how we started was focusing on a different type of sensors. Sensors that can be installed in a car. At that time, there was no connected car, as you know. So there was no talking about autonomous car either. And so we thought there was the need of having an aftermarket device to install in a vehicle and having the ability to monitor very close how that vehicle is operated, with the goal to provide feedback to the driver to be a safer driver, but at the same time providing information and data, collecting a lot of data for insurance company. In 2011, we incorporated in US. So we are 6 years old in US, but as you know, we have about 70 insurance companies as our partners worldwide. We collected more than 60 billion miles of driving data, and the most important part is the amount of crash data that we collected, validated and analyzed for insurance company. So if you put together the amount of data that we collected, telematics data, and the amount of crash data, we have that, let's say, that secret sauce of that capability, machine learning solution to correlate how people drive and what is the probability that they can have a crash.
When you think about the technology that y'all built, what was your approach when you were going to the industry? Did they acknowledge that they had this potential problem that your solution kind of solved for them, or did you have to kind of indicate for them, hey, you may not realize you have this problem, but this is a great solution?
Yes. No, that has been our challenging since the beginning. Engaging with an insurance carrier usually is, let's say, a traditional organization, slow to make changes and talk about innovation, talking about some solution that were going to change the way they were doing business.
Right.
So the way how we approached this challenge was by sharing some of the expertise we learned from other programs or in other markets. But mostly by providing, developing a pilot.
Right.
And this is something that we have done. The way how we approached was we believe in this technology. We believe that this will help you. And so we are ready to invest on developing a pilot just for you, for your needs, for free. I mean, so we did a lot of pilots for free, just to them collecting data and sharing this data to show them the benefits of this data.
Right.
And this is the way how we succeeded. We were not selling a solution or a product. We were building a relationship. This has been our focus since the beginning. We were building a partnership because we were saying we know that today maybe you don't believe this, but we have done this for many years, and we believe it. So we wanted to invest and make it easier, eliminate any barrier, especially economical, financial barrier, to demonstrate that this has a value for you.
Right. So what happens in that kind of a process, it seems to me, is the carrier in that context eventually begins to acknowledge or recognize, I have some pain points. I have some things that, this could be, I'd like to solve this problem. How is it that you guys go about on a daily basis meeting and solving some of those pain points for the companies?
Yeah, no, in the insurance industry there are two pain points. One is acquisition pricing,
right,
and the other one is claim, when they have to pay for a claim.
Right.
So we actually, telematics address these two pain points in a very specific way. And as has been demonstrated in the US market, it's a connected car, telematics data, huge benefits. I heard something like 2-3 times stronger value than financial responsibility, like the credit history. So it's been demonstrated in the industry that in order to assess the risk of a driver, if you know how people are driving, how they are accelerating, how they're speeding, when they are driving, where they are driving, you have a very strong proposition to understand the pricing.
Right.
The risk. And this has been demonstrated in US, and company like Progressive publicly announced these great results after they collected so many data. Now the other parts and this is where we bring our let's say European expertise in the US.
Right.
It's been at least a year of explaining our partners in US the benefits of leaving this telematics device in the vehicle and continue to monitor how people drive, not only for 6 months for pricing, but being able to continuously collect data. They are able to collect data when there is a moment of loss,
right,
or because the car was stolen, or because there was a car accident. And right now we see a huge transformation happening on how telematics can help the
right,
claims organization.
Sure. So that leads me to a couple of points I want to make sure we cover.
Yes.
UBI.
Yes.
User-based insurance. Telematics has got to be at the heart of that, right? That's how you trigger the on and off. How do you see UBI and telematics relating, and as that kind of becomes pervasive? Yeah.
So we think that, let's say, the tipping point
yeah,
is the full telematics experience.
Right.
We call full telematics experience, where, and now we are going to the terminology. UBI is like pricing, is for pricing for driving behavior.
Right.
But telematics is much more.
Yes.
Is much more. So usually we talk about 3 pillars of benefits. The first one is the UBI, driving behavior. The second one is reducing claims costs,
right,
reducing fraud, improving the time to address a claim. And the third pillar is value-added services for the consumer.
Right.
And by having a connected vehicle, you have a smart vehicle. No, it's like you can get, you can collect data from the canvas and understand how the maintenance of the car needs to be done.
Right.
You can understand, collect a diagnostic trouble code and notify the driver which kind of problem the car has. You can monitor the status of the battery, and before the battery dies, you can alert and say, look, in a couple of weeks your battery is going to die.
Right.
So we build all these value-added services by having a connected car, like geofencing, curfew for parents, team drivers. Right. So when we talk about the tipping point where we are able to put together all these benefits together,
right,
so
it's almost in a platform.
Yes, it's a platform. It's a platform, you are saying totally right, it's a platform that, and this is what we have recently announced when we were talking about the journey. I mean, if we think about when we started in 2002 or in Europe, or when we started in 2011 in US, we were based on a vertical platform, and we were using, let's say, a very limited number also of products. Now, with the new generation platform that we launched, we have a horizontal platform, and where we can add seamless additional services. So services for consumer, value-added services. We have our core crash detection.
Right.
We have the UBI. And I can tell you that most of our insurance partners in US, no one have the same exact program.
Right.
So the type of data also that we collect, the frequency, the thresholds, when we talk about with the actuarials, they all want their own secret sauce.
Right.
So we have the ability, by using this platform, this solution, to customize, to make these changes in a question of days, a few days,
Right.
we can launch a new program.
Yeah, the great thing this is, I mean, that there's so much safety element associated. There's so much prevention associated. It's not just auto crash claims. It's all about kind of the customer experience, right?
And this is very important because actually this brings us to the distracted drivers. When we talk about safety,
You're right.
This is something that actually we have been spent a lot of resources in the last year by developing the capability on different type of smartphones to monitor how people are using the phone while they're driving.
Right.
No? And not only how they are using while they're driving, but also associating this behavior with contextual information.
Right.
So one thing, if you are in a traffic and you are texting your wife that you are late,
right.
And we know that you are in a traffic jam, no? And one thing is you are driving 85 miles per hour on the highway, you try to text your wife. So there are two behavior that can look like the same, but by correlating this behavior with the context, how you're driving,
right.
It becomes a very powerful tool. Now, but distracted driving, we believe in monitor, informing, and incentivize.
Okay.
Instead of turning off your phone.
Okay.
And this is something that working with our partners. This is the way how also they want to do it. I'm going to share with you some data, data that we analyze with here in US with one of our largest customers. And this is focused on driving behavior. We don't have yet data for distracted driving, but on driving behavior, by providing this feedback to the driver, how they are driving, their score, their braking, their speeding, they are changing behavior. We see that after 4 weeks, 50%, at least 50% of the driver, they become safer. They change their driving behavior because the score improving. After 8 weeks, it's more than 75%.
Really?
So it's a huge number. When we come out with this number, the reason, and some people will argue, the reason is because of the discount.
Yeah.
Because they wanted
right.
to, if they are safer and the score is higher, they have a more discount. But it's an incentive. People are changing.
Yeah.
Are becoming safer drivers.
Right. It's almost like a competitive environment, right? They want to compete to get better.
They want to compete and they want to get better.
Right.
Definitely.
So telematics, you kind of hit on it just a while ago. Telematics generally, at least historically, people think of automobiles, vehicles. But telematics is the digital transformation of or transmission of information across space. So where's Octo going? There's got to be a kind of a roadmap.
Yeah. I mean, this is part of our internal transformation and journey with the next generation platform. The idea was to be totally independent from different sensors. So it can be an OBD2 device, can be a smartphone, can be a smart tag, but can be a device at home, can be a small device on a pet, can be a device on a bicycle or a motorcycle or on a boat. Different type of sensors, they can be seamlessly integrated in our IoT platform. So we collect data from different sensors, we analyze data in a different way based on the product. And we provide intelligence feedback to the driver or the homeowner or the bicycle owner and to the insurance company.
So applications in heavy machinery, ag,
we have a
smart homes.
Application in agriculture for home. We launched big programs in Italy with the Italian Post Office. That they are selling home insurance. And by using our home box with all different sensors, but we are talking also in US with insurance company. We launched a pet insurance program in Europe. We have insurance for motorcycle. We have also the program for motorcycle and for bicycle.
Okay. So Nino, listen, thank you so much for taking time out. I want to make sure that our audience knows that we're super appreciative of Octo sponsoring this video event as well as the greater ITC 2017 event. Very much appreciated.